Let us pray. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
So the last will be first, and the first last. For many are called, but few chosen. Matthew 20:16. Meditate on that. Thank you very much. Tonight's topic is divine physics. And I'm telling you, it's amazing how this guy so succinctly took the laws of physics and then related them to how it affects us, our psyche, our outer and inner worlds. It was beautifully done. I really recommend that everybody reviews that again. So being in motion or inertia, the contrast between the two, we've got to be in motion. We've got to allow our minds to work in our imagination and allow that imagination to flow, because that's a creative act. We create through our imagination and send it out into the universe, and the universe will respond to it and build it and manifest it. I don't know how to say the next one. Law of parsonicity. Yeah. Taking time out, if we manage our life well, we don't get exhausted, we don't get overwhelmed. We know how to pattern ourselves in a way that gives us time for rest, time for action, time for play, time for prayer, time to just be, to be creative, or to learn more information that we're interested in, to remember in the depths of our being, in our Akashic records, how we can recall this. It's so important that we manage our life well so that we don't have to feel like we're exhausted. And a lot of times it has to do with attitude. If you're in an attitude of gratitude, instead of feeling, oh my goodness, the world is crashing in on me, I have so much responsibility. If you do that, it's not going to give anybody any gift, because you're doing it outside of your joy. That isn't giving, truly. Truly is when it feels good to you, when you are enjoying what you're doing. Sometimes it's just a trigger of when you see that someone's benefiting from what you're saying or doing. It can give you some tremendous joy, absolute joy. Sometimes it's very difficult, and we do feel a little overwhelmed. And that's when you take a break. You go off by yourself, go watch the sunset or the sunrise, or walk someplace near water, hopefully still water, not running water, like a river. It's a lot of friction there. And some people like that feeling. The ocean, just the smells alone and the rhythm of the sound and all the animals that live there, and the birds and all the activity that's there. It's so refreshing. Some people like to go into the woods for the stillness, for the trees, for the shade, the wind running through the branches and the leaves making sound. Sometimes we need to be with children, to go play. Just watch them brings a smile to your face. It's remarkable. But managing your time is very, very important. And you'll be able to do what you were meant to do each day of your life, but no more. Because when you push it, you make a list as long as your leg, it's impossible. You're overdoing it. You just have to manage it the way everything falls into place. Whatever doesn't get done, put it on the next day's list. That's how I do it. If I didn't do it on this list, it goes on the back list and it goes to the next day. So, equilibrium, finding balance in your life in every aspect, right? It is so important. It makes you feel strong and sure, and you can get through life so easy. Grounding yourself. We do the grounding when we eat. We ground ourselves. Did you ever notice when you haven't eaten a meal because you've been too busy, you get lightheaded, a little confused, you get tired, you really aren't yourself. So you have to take care of that. Give yourself what your body needs so that your mind can be clear and you can move forward in power and in your strength. Action and reaction. It is true. Every action causes a reaction from what a word is stated, how it's stated, in an action of movement, reaching for someone's hand, patting someone on the back, shaking hands with somebody, any kind of contact whatsoever, even eye contact. It's remarkable how there is a reaction to everything you do. How you do something, people observe you and they'll say, that was really cool. I'm going to try that. Or you're walking down the street and you smile. And maybe 1 out of 10 actually look at you. And then you see them smile. And then they smile at somebody further down the street because it felt so good. It's contagious, especially the joy. So order and chaos. And I'll tell you, in our life, we see both occurring. Entropy is what the word is. It's number 5. I cannot stand chaos. I always, and I'm sure I reflect this throughout many lifetimes, I must have order. It just is something that I need. Otherwise, everything is not right. So, as a manager for many lifetimes, and even this one, I manage things so that it's orderly. When my kids were little, even at a birthday party, we were going to have order in the house. My daughter hated it. My son was like me, and he was very comfortable with that. Chaos, when you're observing it, it does something to you. If you can stay in your center while chaos is happening all around you, that is mastery. That is mastery. If you fall into the chaos, then you need to somehow pull yourself back out. Some people can't. They get caught up in it and they lose themselves in it. Practice being in your center at all times. You can still have a lot of fun. There is no doubt. Just watch Loring in action in real life. when you're in order, it helps you to think, to reason, to bring things into a place where chaos can't enter. And I like that very much. So why does chaos happen in our life? So that we can practice staying in our center, no matter what happens. You become the grand observer. Life becomes a play in front of you, and you can watch it play out, not judge it. Once you judge it, it all falls apart, because then you're stuck in your judgment. It's like you look at a person and you get this whole story going of who, what, where, and when, but it isn't even true. You have no idea until you're with that person, listen to that person, have an interest in that person. And even then, you don't know the whole story. The law of conservation. You know, we're given an allotment of energy, each one of us. And when we create, we can create or through the light and love, or we make miscreations and send it out there. What we do with the violet flame is we can transform the miscreation. Like if you say something you know you really feel terrible about, you can send that violet fire out and capture it and cleanse it, and it comes back to you as clean energy, which you can reuse. Absolutely pure energy, and you can reuse it for whatever you choose to do with it. You become responsible. You learn to become responsible for that energy so that you can constantly be aware whether you're using it well or you're which would be conservation of it, or if you're expelling it. For instance, people who talk incessantly, constantly speaking, you're exerting so much energy, you have no idea. And you wonder why you're exhausted at the end of the day, not even the end of the day. Being still and conserving your energy, speaking when you feel impressed that it would be helpful or be a blessing, or to correct something that is going haywire around you. That is conservation of energy. People overdo physical education, physical activity. I saw a man in the summer at 3 o'clock in the afternoon jogging, and then almost falling over, just literally plopped on the ground to try to get his breath. What kind of intelligent action is this? What are we proving? Why are we doing that to our bodies? Athletes, they tend to overdo as well. They practice and they practice and they never stop moving. And a lot of them really have a lot of damage to their heart and other parts of their body from overuse. That's why, even though the baseball players and football players make a heck of a lot of money, their career is very short-lived because of the damage to their body of overworking it. So we have to learn, if we want to really keep that in check. Wave particles duality. Boy, that's a cool one. So, we tend to use judgment in just about everything. But if we learn to just be the observer and allow ourselves to look around, get to know people, get to know the conditions in a city, not judging it all the time, just accepting what you see. There's people that live in conditions that you and I would gasp. Well, I did. But that was regular life for them, just like their grandparents lived, their parents lived, their great-grandparents, their great-great-great, they still live the same way. It's not our way, but to them, it's home. If people are in cultures that home isn't an important thing, it is their prayers, their religion, their customs are so important to them. They don't care if they live in a little tiny one room with a family of 5. That's normal for them not to be judged. And it is so healthy for you as the observer to learn not to judge. So no one will judge you. Nobody will judge you. You become a master at this. It takes a long while to change our ways because we're always imagining what people are thinking about us, what people are saying about us, what people are in any way judging us. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't. I am me, genuine. And I say what comes from my heart. And I do the things that I do, not for any other reason, but the pureness of my joy to give. Is that what you do? Or do you do it because you have to? You feel you have to. It's your duty. It's your job. It's expected of me. Robin at the meeting, at the retreat, was giving of herself, helping in every way she could wherever she was. And I just watched her, and I loved that reflection of me in her. And what struck me most was it was genuine. She didn't do it for attention. She didn't do it because she thought somebody would give her a compliment. She did it out of the sheer joy of giving and doing. Yeah. Things like this, if you're sitting quiet and observing, brings you so much joy to see someone to be so genuine, so loving, so beautiful in their actions. There I am, I say to myself. There I am. And it gives me such pleasure to see that reflection. I used to do that. Yeah. I'm just too aged at this point to do such a thing. But I certainly send out a lot of love. And that love is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. Always looking around and praying for everybody, enjoying the laughter, enjoying the joy that other people have. And that brings me great joy. The law of gravitation. Boy, do I feel that anymore. Attraction of energy. So how do we create? We create by feeling within us a great desire. And it's very interesting. The words I'm using are very precise. It is in the amount of desire that you put into what you want to create that will help it to form, actually take form, and manifest. It's through your desire. I learned this from a great sage many years ago. So when you have a project or you have something that you want to do to help the world or a community or a family or just maybe an individual, whatever it is for you, just keep visualizing. If you're caretaking, visualize them in peace and comfort and wholeness, that they're at their best, as best they can be, even though they may be laid up. or a wheelchair or whatever the case may be. See them like that to bring yourself joy that whatever you do for them is bringing them a gift of you, a gift of your love. And when you don't want to do it anymore, be sure not to. Be sure not to, because it isn't a gift anymore. And then somebody else will give that gift. The universe will provide. You just have to know when to step back and know when your job is done. When you're doing universal projects or planetary projects, it is so enormous that it's hard to even grasp what your influence is doing for an entire planet. But you don't look at it that way. You find the joy in service, and that will sustain you through no matter what hardships come, because it's exhausting. I know personally, I did this for years, many years, 50 separate journeys, sacred journeys. And in each one, my joy was greater than the time before that, right up to the 50th one. And then I knew that is over. That chapter is over. When you have a joy in your heart for service, you will find things to put that energy into. Don't worry about, oh, what is my mission? What am I to do? Do what you love to do. Do what you love to do. What you have talent in, bring that talent to others. Bring them joy. If you are an artist and you have a beautiful skill to bring colors together, to bring a picture for somebody to look at. I had a neighbor, she's very elderly, and I was in her house once and I was looking at what I thought were photographs. And she said, no, my son painted those. I said, no. These are photographs. She goes, no, Barbara, my son was a visionary and he was able to see a face and hold on to it and paint it exactly the way it looked. What a gift. And she had paintings all over her house. He didn't want any of his work, but she had it all. And I was in awe of the skill of this young man. I talked to him on the phone. I never met him. But just remarkable. What if you have a good singing voice? Not me, but those that do. My kids used to beg me, please don't sing tonight. Don't sing to us just to go to sleep. I say, okay. I read to them. And they like that voice. Whatever your gifts and talents are, just do it. There's a hairdresser I know. She loves doing hair. She loves it. She dances around the person. She's all into it. And she does a beautiful creation for them. That's her gift. And she's loving it. And she's making people so happy in her joy at what she does. Some of you are nurturers. That's your great gift. You just know what to say, when to say it, when to step back, when to listen, and when to speak. What a wonderful gift that is. It's a treasure. Some people have very healing energy, healing hands, and just people feel like they could fall asleep around you. They feel so comfortable, so cared for and loved. These are the things that you should put a lot of value to and direct yourself in that direction. And people will gravitate to you naturally. You don't have to find your people. They will find you. The law of attraction, right? So the law of conservation of momentum. Again, focus on your goals, the things that you would like to do in your life. You ever have a bucket list? Sometimes you're drawn to another country or a site somewhere in your own country, and you just don't know why, but you're drawn there. Go there. Go there. There may be fragments from your past that you're picking up. There may be a portal there that's filled with very healthy, loving, nurturing energy for you. You don't know why. You may have passed away in that location, but tragically, so that you can pull all of that back to you and heal yourself from the past. You don't know why. But if you have a bucket list and you say, I want to do this, I want to go there for the first time, I want to parasail, I want to go ice skating, I want to go skiing, I want to go on a mountain, do it. It'll feed your soul. It'll feed your heart and your joy. It's very important. It's for your well-being. And give it your all, whatever you're doing. Like when we saw John on that raft, the picture of that you sent us. I mean, I did that once in Alaska. It was so cool. Except we were supposed to go for a level 1, but there was a storm the day before. We ended up level 5. It was a little scary. I guess I needed that thrill. Charlie loved it. Okay. So the uncertainty, the Heisenberg uncertainty. Okay, let me see. Yeah. You know, we all want to know, right? We have this need to know so that we don't have any surprises, that we can handle whatever comes up. But how about you allow yourself not to know, that you purely can experience something and learn from it rather than having all of the preparation. I read the book, I know exactly what's going to happen, and handle it that way. You know, I went through a period of time, I had asked my guides and my higher self, I want to know what's going to happen every day before it happens, because I thought that way I could function much better. I'd be prepared. I'll be able to do things. Well, it wasn't even 3 weeks, and I was so bored because I already knew what was going to happen when I did my morning prayers. No spontaneity. You have no room for that. So go out into life just like a great adventurer that you've been in the past, and just let life show you an experience and see what you do with it. Quantum entanglement. So we all have people around us that bring us different experiences, right? We've got the agitators, always there, always poking at us. We've got the people who are the nurturers. We've got the people who are really good at reasoning, helping us to kind of get our heads together if we come to them with an issue. We've got the people that are kind of leaders, and they show you another way to be if that's not your the way you operate. I can't seem to operate outside of a leadership position, and it's just innate in me. I was always management. I was always doing a job that would help other people get organized and get effectively the work done. It's just my nature. What's your nature? And who are the people you call to you? in order to activate you, agitate you, or get you to laugh, get you to cry. Think about it. We all have this, whether it's in our family, people that we work with, people that are our neighbors. Think about it. You have all these people playing different parts in your life. And guess why? You're supposed to find yourself in the mix. Find yourself in the mix. For instance, and this is a little off, but I think it'll make an impact. Education. We get educated, and I'm telling you, only 30% of the people that were educated in a certain area actually do that for a living, because it was influenced by a lot of different things. Parents, right? Spouses wanting you to go in an area where that really wasn't your desire. Only 30%. All of the people that graduated with Charlie as an aeronautic engineer, most of them went into other careers. They did not do this. Not even Charlie. Yeah, very interesting. And also, the people that are around you influence you and can move you into their interest, which you didn't realize was really yours. And you watch them thriving, doing what they're doing. Or the opposite, where they drag you into, like, if they're an artist and you're kind of interested in it and you really love watching it, but it isn't your thing. And eventually you'll go away from it, but it might lead you towards something halfway in between what you were doing, which wasn't satisfying, but it was a living, and something that would really bring you joy. This is why people are in your life, and you really do need them. Don't isolate yourself. Only when you're quietly working on yourself, introspection, when you know you have to purge and take care of something, that's when you go off by yourself and take care of it. But make sure you socialize. It's very important for you, especially those that don't like it. You have to bring yourself to do it. It's very healthy. And the law of reflection, this is 13th on the list, which is the last on the list, because it's the most important to me. The more time you spend inside, the more time you get to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like, especially nurturers who have always been outer directed, trying to take care of everybody around them, but who? But themselves. It isn't healthy. It makes you angry. Eventually you get angry. You feel put upon. You're always the one doing, and everyone sits back. It's like for all the years that Charlie had his business, I would invite all his employees to our house for holidays, and I would cook everything from scratch because they loved it. But I was so burnt out after 20 years of it that when he sold his business, I was actually very glad. I was exhausted. I did it with joy when I did it because the food tasted good. So, I didn't put anything but love in it. But that was not healthy for me. It wasn't. I needed to maybe get help, and I never asked for it. Yeah. So balance, right? And equilibrium and reflection. Come to know yourself fully. Know your strengths and your weaknesses. And accept yourself. You don't have to be a master of everything about yourself, but you'll learn to deal with it. You'll learn to depend on your strengths. and you'll do things where your strengths are going to carry you. This is how we live a happy life, a fulfilling life, and a genuine life. So I'll finish my talk after we do the next segment. And I hope you enjoyed what we spoke about today. Please study it. It's not just science, it's very spiritual. Anyone that's watching this on YouTube, I encourage you to join us at the forum to have all 3 segments to enjoy. This is only segment 1. Go to ourdivineorigin.com and send an email to me, and I'll be more than happy to set you up to come and join us. Okay? So, God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Stephanie?
Thank you so much, Barbara. That was better than any college physics class. So thank you. We're gonna have Christine play the song.
Comment on that. That beautiful song, giving himself over to the guidance of the Christ within, with each one of us. You're never alone. You have that to lean on all the time, to guide you, to show you the way. Are you listening? Or are you busy talking? We need to listen. And that gift is yours, your treasure. Thank you so much. Divine physics. Very interesting topic. It is life, the entire incredible journey of life and everything in it, physical, mental, emotional, everything. It's the light, it's the air, it's the breath, it's the colors. You take everything in nature, and there's God. You look at another human being, and there you are. You look at a flower, the beauty, the scent. There's God bringing you a gift. When we can do this and look and respect and hold dear to us everything in life, we have mastered life. Remember, mastery is the awareness that we're practicing the presence and mastering each part of our life that we couldn't before. It's a step-by-step journey. It happens slowly but surely until it becomes the only way that you can operate. You see? That is mastery. When you are there, not just talking about it, not just wishing for it, not just trying, but actually there, right in the center of it. And you can say, it is good. And I see you. I see you. And when I see you, I see me. I saw such a variety of people today. It was like so magical. And I was there in the midst of it, even a very handicapped young man. There I am. There I am. And just loving it all. Everything. Just feeling this sense of peace in all the noise, all the 3D stuff going on around me. And I just smiled. And even Charlie was smiling because I guess he understands where I'm at. This feeling of peace that it makes no sense that I should feel this way, especially dealing with so many people that have things going on that are called crises. They're in crisis. And I just love them. And when people ask me to pray, I pray with all my heart. I burst out crying because every ounce of me is in that prayer. Do you put passion and desire into your everyday? Yeah. It's so healthy for you. It brings out everything, the best in you. And when you do something, it has such impact in the world. It could heal a leper if you love it enough. It's true. It's true. I knew a lady, she was very special, and a little bird had fallen out of a nest and really was so traumatized. And she scooped it up in her hands and she sat there, the tears running down her face, and she just kept rocking and loving it and blowing into her hands and asking God to help it. And all of a sudden she went like this because it was starting to move, and she let go and it flew away. That's when your heart is right in front of you, where you're putting everything you are into it, which is love. Live your life this way, and you will heal everything inside you. You will become one with all life. And I say amen. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed tonight's topic and all the discussion. It was beautiful, and you're beautiful.
We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency even higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know that we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.